All right, let's talk about Justin Fields of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We got to see a decent amount of playing time with him here as he came in after Wilson played the opening drive. Of course, for Fields, I thought that after his first preseason performance, it wasn't great, and I think most people were just expecting Wilson to run away with the job. However, then in week 2 of the preseason, Russell Wilson actually kind of was underwhelming, and Fields was really good in that second preseason performance. So I think the hope was for Fields, could he potentially at least put the thought in Mike Tomlin's mind? But with Wilson doing pretty good in his limited sample size, Fields was going to have to really show something, I think, to get the starting job here, or even to get just some consideration of a starting job here. So, okay, well, how did he do? Well, let's start off with this play. I thought for the most part the passing was really good, actually. Some stuff like this, which is going to be a design to roll out towards the top of the screen. Simple enough, hit the receiver that you see, could be in a gap in coverage towards the top of the screen where Fields will be going. Fields takes the snap right here, runs the play action, and it's going to make a good off-balance throw. They're able to pick up the completion. Again, it's nothing crazy. This isn't the highest degree of difficulty type play, but these are definitely the kind of plays that if Fields does end up in a game due to injury or due to him just I don't know, maybe it doesn't go well for Wilson and Fields steps in, or maybe Fields, surprisingly gets named a starter. I don't think that's going to happen. But all I'm trying to say is if Fields does play these types of plays, I could definitely see happen. Like especially when you see something like this, where it's a zone coverage concept. Again, these are the plays that you see guys run pretty frequently. Like, the 49ers like to do this. The Lions like to do this actually a decent amount, even though Goff isn't known for his mobility. But you don't always need mobility. Sometimes you just need stuff like what you're going to see. Where with the play action and the rollout, the idea behind this is to get linebackers out of position so that over the middle throw could be more open. Like you see when Fields does run this play action and then rolls over the middle. First off, you saw how he's got his feet square and got his shoulders square. Got his feet down, got his shoulders square. Really good job there of not having to throw off balance, all of that good stuff. Although you see right here, it is not a wide open play whatsoever. He's going to have to make a tough throw, and he just got his feet planted the way he wants to. So it's a little bit more uncomfortable than you would typically like. However, he makes an accurate throw. He's able to run the offense well. And to be honest, this is something he's always been pretty good at. Even back in college or, his rookie year in Chicago when it didn't go that well. Like, he's always been pretty good at just running the offense the way it's designed. I don't think that's ever been a critique. This play is another really good one, I think, because this isn't something that Fields has always been good at. Where first, there's a Detroit Lions player who's going to be rushing the passer. That's the way, this play is designed to work for the Lions. It's a 5-man rush. And then they'll drop back into coverage, but with only 6 guys in coverage as opposed to your typical 7. So there's 2 players who are going to be deep, and then just 4 players instead of your typical 5 over the middle right here when, if it's cover 2 zone. Usually you have 5 guys, but due to the blitz, it'll only be 4. Now you see that route right there. What's really interesting about this route is that because there's a blitz, typically, kind of the age-old saying is you throw it into the blitz. Wherever there is a blitzing player, that means that there's probably less attention getting put in that direction right when the play begins, so therefore looking over there is usually a good idea. This is something Fields has often struggled with in the NFL, certainly when he first entered the NFL. However, here you do see him, I think, read this play really well. I think it was kind of where he was going to look anyway, but he's still reading the play well because he notices where the Detroit Lions defender is in relation to this receiver. And so watch how he times it really perfectly, and they're able to get a big completion. They get right close to the to the end zone, and then they were able to get a touchdown immediately after. Well, I guess not immediately after, because there was this play, which is going to be a running play. He's going to be rushing towards his left. And when the play begins, it's almost like he was rushing, it's almost like the way it was designed was that he's supposed to rush all the way over towards the left, get, outside everybody. But there is a Lions player doing a good job of containing Fields, forcing him to have to go more over the middle. And Fields is going to do something interesting here. Watch as he cuts back over the middle and just kind of lowers the shoulder and tries to pick up a touchdown. Doesn't work. He was stopped just short, and he was down. If you see the replay, that is the correct call and all that. But still, kind of interesting how it kind of just goes to show he's not afraid to lower the shoulder and take a hit if he has to, which of course we already know is the case. But yeah, I mean, again, whether you like this or dislike this in a quarterback, because obviously there's the benefit of you get more yards this way, there's the downside of your quarterback puts himself in harm's way this way. It's just a part of Fields' playing style. And listen, his legs are a part of his game. Like, I thought this play was super fascinating for me, where it's a 3rd down and 3, and again, it's going to be a designed run. We've seen a lot of designed runs with Fields in the preseason, which just tells me that if Fields gets himself out there, the Steelers are going to use him as a dual threat quarterback. They're not going to try to do the Matt Nagy, just try to have him be a pocket passer, or then scramble. Like, no, this is going to be a part of what they do. But if you look at that Detroit Lions player, here's what I find really fascinating about this play. He is unblocked, but that's exactly where Fields is going to be running. Like, watch, Fields is going to run to play action. He gets up there, and I mean, as of right now, I think for a lot of quarterbacks, you'd be saying, well, this isn't going to work. There's a defensive back ready to run in and make a tackle. The difference, of course, is that this isn't just any quarterback who is running. This is Justin Fields. As you see, he steps forward. He is able to dive and pick up the 1st down right there. So again, good stuff here from Fields to pull this off. This is definite value that he brings to the table, and this is part of why I'm sure, in my opinion, I'm sure he did make this a bit of a tough decision for Pittsburgh, although he had one bad play that I think is going to make it less tough of a decision. It's this one. It's a 3rd down and 4 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this is an issue we saw in a different preseason game, and we're seeing it now as well, where just watch what happens. As you see, the ball is just going to hit Justin Fields. He wasn't ready for the ball, now he has to pick it up off the ground, and for what it's worth, it seemed like the rest of the Steelers were ready for the snap to be around there. I think this was Fields' fault, not the center's fault. Impossible for me to say for sure while I am just sitting in my office recording a YouTube video. But the reason I really wanted to bring this up isn't just to show it once, but again, this happened multiple times in a different preseason game. And if this is becoming a consistent issue, like, I'm sorry, coaches are going to say, you know what, let's just go with the guy who I trust to take the snap. Now, to Fields' credit, I mean, again, really difficult guy to bring down, right? I mean, for a second, I'm sure you were wondering, is he going to somehow get out of this? Didn't quite happen, but still, again, I think it was a solid performance from Fields. I'm going to give it like a 7 out of 10 performance. Like, one bad play doesn't negate the good stuff he did, but I don't know, he certainly didn't do enough in this performance or in this entire preseason, in my opinion, for Mike Tomlin to say, you know what, this guy has to be the starter. He did some stuff to make you think about it a little bit more. I think there is an argument to be made for Fields, and I really think what he did is if Wilson struggles right out of the gate, let's say Wilson's named a starter but has like 3 bad games in a row, then the conversation becomes a lot louder. I think Fields did enough for that, whereas had he just stunk, then, it wouldn't have mattered. So I certainly think Fields had a good preseason, just maybe not the dominant one he needed to be a starter, but that's kind of how I view his preseason performance this year. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.